Okay guys, welcome to another special Ask Zenler. So I was asked a question by one of my workshop instructors, Mina, and she was asking how we could actually have a session or a booking session where you pay for it and you then get access to a live session that you've set. So one thing for sure here, we have to set up a live session per date and time. Yeah, we can't put a reoccurring link in at this stage. However, we are adding feature to be able to do this. So this means that to take payment on a live session, what we need to do is set up a course. Now, I've already done a tutorial on using Calendly and actually booking a one-to-one session, and then you can just email them and actually send out a date. But if we're having a group of people, this might be different. You could still use Calendly, and I think you can put groups in there. But we're just going to do it. We're not going to use the Calendly integration. We're going to say you've got a set date and a set time, and that's when the session's going ahead, or to be confirmed, so within a time frame. It's really up to you, because as you've created the course, you can set whatever you like up inside the course access page. And then you can use automations to send an email out with the actual link to the live class, or you can use actually the live class. You can actually get it to automate and send the link out to those people anyway. So we're going to look at all that. So this is going to be quite an extended askzenler, because we're covering quite a few different things here. So what we're going to do is we're going to log in and we're going to just set up the course, and we're going to say that we're going to charge like £200 for an hour session or something, okay, along those lines, and then I can show you the way we can do it, or the couple of methods that we can use. So here we are, we're on the in the site admin. We've gone to courses, all courses, and I'm just going to create a course here. Okay, so I've got this course in here, and we're going to name it. We're going to say that this is for one-off. Okay, so you could change, you could unenroll people once the session's ended, and then and I'll show you how to do that as well. So we're going to call this live session, and you give it a subtitle, of course, live hand holding, something like this. That'd be good. And a course summary. Let me show you all about, as it's surfing, I put surfing, all about, let me teach you surfing techniques. We'll call it 101, something like that. So I'm going to click create course, and that's going to set up our course. Now what we're going to do is we're not even going to use the curriculum at all. Okay, so we're not going to have anything in here. So the first page you get to when you create a course is going to create the curriculum. Now of course we don't want a curriculum in here. Now at this point I'd like to mention that you could have a tier based course, and you could put any information into each section. So you could have a tier 1 hour session, say, and make that open to this section, and then inside there you could have the date for it that is going out, tier 1 session. You could create another section, and of course you could call that tier 2, so it would be like a 2 hour session. So I'm just giving you alternatives as we're going through things, and then of course you could then drop your lesson in there. So you could then put a text document, you know, in there, or you could write something like the session will happen on this date, and then you could then email those people. So you could tag those emails in and email those people. So that's one way that we could do it using tier, but that's not our main goal here. Our goal really is to simplify the whole process for you. So I'm going to come straight into here, and I'm going to actually delete all the sections out. So there's no section. It doesn't actually let you delete the last section, but it really doesn't matter, because this section is not going to show. Okay, it's because it only shows in the dynamic block in the course access page. So we're going to jump straight to the pages now, and you're going to see your sales page. So this is where you're going to talk about the live session and what they're going to achieve and all that thing. And then of course they can enroll, go through the checkout, and then when they've got access, they're in this course access page. So this course access page is a private page that they'll only get to if they've paid for it. So this is an important principle, that the top 3 pages are really processes through to get to this course access page. So you have a sales page where you're talking about the thing, and you can go into the page builder and build that up. I'm not going to, but you can go in there and change things in there. Let's go and edit this first of all. Let's preview it first and have a look what we've got for the sales page, because there might be some areas we're going to delete out. So you've got course summary in there. We're not going to use the course curriculum, so these areas we can delete out. We've got course curriculum here. Notice course summary, it tells you about that description you put in there. But again, you can delete all these blocks out. So I'm going to jump in here and just do it quickly. So I'm going to close this down. We're going to edit this page and just go through the process to set up the sales page. So we're just basically setting this up. Now, remember guys, once you've done this course, like I said, you could reuse the course. So once you've got, say, 10 people enroll, okay, so 10 people have enrolled, you've put down the live session, okay, they've gone in, done the live session. You can then go into those students, unenroll them for the course, and then the process can start again. You could then change that date to the next week, and new people that have come in, you could then do the live for that and repeat. Or you could take that course, if you want to keep them in that webinar to add more content in there later, you could also clone the course and then redo the same thing. So there's 2 methods depending on what you want. I want to be really thorough with this. So you've got live session up here. You can see these are dynamic blocks. These are being held, these are being pulled in from what you called it, the title, and what you had the subtitle. Now, as I mentioned, you could go in here and you could delete this whole block out and rebuild this page. You don't have to use the dynamic blocks. You could call it something else. So I'll give you an example here. Let's just go in here and just delete this out. And I'll just add a new block in here. So I'm just going to go and add a new block. I'm going to create an empty block, and I'll just drag it up here. And as you can see now, I can add all my rows and my elements in here as I normally would in the page builder. So I'm going to go to heading, and we're going to go details. Well, remember this is the sales page, so you want to make it salesy. So it's going to be live session on surfing. You know, I'll put something like that, it doesn't matter. Course summary, if I want to, I can delete these areas out. This is not a dynamic block, by the way, so you can change it. It's pulling the content in from dynamic, from what you called it on the summary, but it's still editable, this area. So again, you could change this if you want to. So I might delete this block here. I'm just doing it quickly now, guys. So, and I would go, join me and learn. Yeah, cancel that. Okay, so I've just put here, join me and learn the principles of surfing, get great live help by me on all things surfing, receive a free bar of wax. So you could send them something. I'm just saying you could. So here is the course curriculum. Now, if I started to fill out the course curriculum, okay, remember the course curriculum is here. If I started to fill out the sections in here, it would start to fill out down here because it's a dynamic block. But we don't want to access the curriculum because we're just telling people it's a live session. They bought it. Yeah, they've gone to the sales page where they're going to read this. They've bought it and now they're waiting for their live session. So in here, you might want to put when that live session is. So I'm going to duplicate this out and I'm going to go live session is on, just so it's absolutely crystal clear and people know when the session's happening. So we'll say on the 20th of April, which is today, and we'll say at 4:30 BST time. Now you could put all the other time things there. So then you could give them a bit more information in here if you wanted to as well. So if I wanted to, for instance, is you will be emailed the you will you will be emailed 1 day before and 1 hour before. So remember this, what we put in here: 1 day before, 1 hour before, with the link to join. So with link to join, and then put simple. So something like that. There. Okay. So let me just, so I've got that course curriculum in there. Like I said to you before, we've not got a course curriculum, so I'm going to delete that block out. This is really simplified. Obviously, you'd make yours look a ton better, but I'm just going ahead, deleting blocks and keeping it very simple. So you put nice images in there. You might put a video on there telling them exactly what they've got, you know, all using the builder. We're not going to delete the pricing block out because that's where they're going to buy it. Okay. I'm also going to put another button in here as well. So I'm going to type in here, attend the live. By now. Yeah, whatever you like. You're going to see what's going to happen later once we've done this. So that's in there. Make sure you SEO your pages up. Okay. Description, keywords, separated by comma. So it would be like SEO, comma, space, next word, special, comma, you know, whatever your keywords are. So I'll just cancel that one. Make sure you save it. And now what we're going to do is, once we've got that page set up there, this is our sales page. So it's the first page they're going to see. Okay. And we can skip that later and I'll show you. But now we're going to move on to the next page, which is the checkout page, the thank you page. Now we need to set up pricing because at the moment we've got no pricing in there. So if we preview this, you're going to see we've got no pricing in there for the live. And remember, we're going to make it £200 for a sort of 1 hour session or 2 hour session. So let's go and set the pricing up first. So we're going to jump back to the pages in a minute. At the moment we're working on the sales page. Remember this. So we're going to go to pricing. We're going to say add a new pricing plan. We're going to do a one-off payment and we're going to click next. And then we're going to choose our pricing that we want to set in here. So I'm going to set this at 200. Okay. Going to name this live session cost. You don't have to use uppercase. You can give a little description in here. Learn the basics. Something like that. Button text. Change that. Join our live. And that's all set. So you can add a community to it if you wanted to, if you've got a community. And that's it. So I'm going to click finish now. And now that's done, we've got our session cost in there. So if I go back to our page, you're going to see that it's going to come up in here. Now this is dynamically generated. You're also going to see that there's the buy. So this basically takes you to the next page. So remember, this is the sales page, guys. And this will take you then to the next page. So I'm going to jump, now I've got my pricing, I'm going to jump back to the pages. So we've looked at our sales page. So the next page, when we click that button, is going to go through to the checkout page. So guys, make sure that you style up this checkout page, this thank you page. Okay. So that's all done. So once they've done that, they've bought it and they've gone through the checkout thank you page, then they're going to end up on the course access page. Now the course access page, if we preview it, this would normally be showing the course curriculum down here, and it's also showing lessons completed in the curriculum. Or both of these blocks we don't need. You can keep the review block there if you wanted to, but we're going to remove all of these blocks and we're basically going to put in the time when it's going to and what's going to happen. So we're giving information on what's going to happen and when that next live is going to happen on there. All right, so we need to style that page up. So we're going to go into that page now. I'm just going to click out of this and I'm going to jump down here just to get to that page a bit quicker. And we're going to delete those blocks off and we're just going to basically put the time in there with a little bit of a description, and then we are set. So we've then got, we're now taking the payment, and now we're going to be setting the time, the date, when this is going to happen, and what's going to happen. So what the student will expect to get is really important. So we're going to go in here and delete this out. We don't need this. They're not going through a curriculum. They're also not going through this either. So we're going to delete it out. So we're basically, what we're doing here is creating a one-page course, if you like. But we're not even having a course because we're going to delete everything out. And we're going to go to our blocks. We're going to choose maybe an empty block. You don't have to choose an empty block. You could choose one of the pre-filters. I'm going to take this block, drag it in here. And this is where we're going to put the information. So a little bit more work to do, guys, but we're just going to add a row in there. We're going to add an element. Just going to use a heading 1. Welcome, the live session will begin, will be held. I'm just going to pause the video, guys, while I just add some more blocks in here just to speed things up for you. Okay, so I've just put something on here. Again, you can tailor this however you like. I've put welcome to the live session. Will be held on the 20th of April at 4:30 AM BST time. So you will receive an email one day and then 1 hour before the event. Please note, no refunds are given if you cannot attend. If you need to reschedule for the next live, you must inform us 24 hours before. So you could change that a bit. You could say, we do give refunds, but you need to tell us 24 hours before. That's the gist of it, okay? So that's all you need here. So now what we've done is we've done the whole checkout process. They know what to expect. They're going to receive an email. It's going to have the thing. So you've set it all up. So now we've got to just concentrate on the live side of things. So I'm just going to save this. And we're going to test it all out at the end, so you'll see how it's kind of working. So let's just go and have a look at our pages again. So I'm just going to preview this page. So remember, they've come through the checkout process here. So I'm going to have a look at this first page that we did. Let me just go back to here and preview this page through the cycle. So they're going through here. They want to attend the live session. They click this. They go through to the page here. So remember, you can delete these out. Just make sure you leave the order block in. You can delete the rest out if you want to. They can then buy that, and then they go through to the last page, which is the thank you page here. So they'll be getting to this page. So this is the thank you page. Again, you could delete this out. Just this button here will link to the course access page. So if you do delete this block out, just make sure that you link back up to the course access page, which is this one here. And you can take the link here. So if I was doing that, I would basically copy this URL. I would come into the thank you page, and then I'll create my own. So I'm going to go in here and change this so I can go. So if I want to create my own button, I can come into here and add a button in, or a new group. This can be a bit temperamental, this. So just click a button. Let's go in here. Where's my buttons? Right, let's add a row. Add an element. Button. Click a button. Of course, you know, you can style this up as much as you like. Go to edit, and then under the settings here, we're just choosing an action. We're going to a link, and then we're going to choose, and we're going to paste in that URL for the course access page. So that's how you could bypass this button that's in here if you wanted to, guys. So just so you know, you can do that. By the way, you can't, because this block is kind of a block that has dynamic content in it, you can't add things into here. You'll notice that there's no pluses and stuff in here to be able to add anything into that block, but you could redo the block by using this method, if that is clear for you. So let me just delete that out because I'm going to use this block. So basically that is done. So now we set a course up, we know, and it's set up for us. So there are further things we can do that I'm going to talk to you about, but now we're actually ready to set up our live event, our live class. So we're going to jump now to live. So if I go into courses once more, just to reconfirm, we have this live session, we've set it up. We're charging £200 for it. As you saw, we set up the pricing, we set up the pages, we set up the pricing. We basically deleted out anything to do with the curriculum. We got that one-time purchase of £200. So now we've got to just link between the live class that we're doing and this class, so and this course. So if I go into live now, you can see I've got live class here, and this is the one that we'll use to link to that class. So if I go create new, we can then start to fill this out. So if we're going in here, it's going to be done on the 20th, and the time of this is going to be, I think it's before, so I can't set it. I'm going to set it to like 4:30 in the afternoon. So just pretend I put 4:30 p.m. So there we go, 4:30 p.m. Let me click in there and click 30, and that's done. All right, so I go live session for 20th April, surf basics. Okay, something like that. So I've got my date. I've labeled it like this so that it's nice and clear for me to see it in the live classes that I've done before. And definitely set your time zone as well, and you can say how long you want to attend for. It's going to be 2 hours. I like to just do a little bit more, so just in case it runs over, so I do 2:15. Okay, and here is the important bit with live classes. We're going to go enrolled in course, and then we're going to select the course that we did, which was, do you notice that? It's a very good point. It hasn't come up in here. So why hasn't it come up in here? It's basically because we haven't published the course. So we need to publish this course for it to appear in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go back. So I'm going to just go to courses, and I'm just going to make sure that this course is published. So let's click publish course. Okay, so it's called live session. All right. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put 20th of April just to make it clear. Guys, when you're doing all this stuff, you definitely need to test it all. Okay, you need to test that everything's linking up correctly. It's really important. So I've now published this, and it now will appear in that live. So I'm going to go back to live. I'm going to go to live classes. You can see that it's deleted it, so I need to go back in and reset this up. So I'm going to go into here, and we're going to call it that, and we're going to go and set that time. So I'm going to do it PM. So definitely make sure that you put the right dates and time on the sales page. So let me just click this quicker. Okay, good. And now we're going to go enroll in course. And now what you're going to see, let me just set that. Now what you're going to see is you're going to see that course, because it's published, is in there. There it is. So we can click that. Or for all enrollments, or the live session costs. So I'm just going to do the live session costs. So anyone that's come through that will be able to do this. So there we go. So inbuilt password, so it's all right. Maximum attendees, again you can change here. Maximum attendees, date we've already covered. You can actually upload a image as well if you want to. And we're going to click next. So now it's going to give you a theme to choose, which are all highly editable. I'm just going to choose this one, and then I'm going to click finish here. And here we go. So it's now set this up for us. So guys, it sets up these pages for you with the live. So you see a register here. This confuses people, and they think that you need to re-register. That is not the case. It is purely they log in with the same username and password that they bought the course with. Okay, so nothing changes there. They haven't got to re-log it. They haven't got to set up a new email address or new to actually get in there. They can use the same email address that they used to register. If they want to use a different one, they can, but it won't let them in because that is what's logged in the live class. Okay. Now, unlike a webinar, it won't let them in unless they've used the same email address that they registered and bought the course with. So this is a security thing to stop people coming into it without actually being bought the course. Okay, So this is really important about the live class feature. So if we preview this page now, just as it is, remember you can highly edit this as much as you like using Page Builder. But if they click the register now, they'll just be using the actual thing. Now, you see, notice I've come in and it said you can't contact, you can't do this. So it's worth maybe putting a button in there to the buy now. Just in case people come into this page, SEO pick it up or anything else, but you shouldn't have to. By default this works. So I'm going to show you how we can register. Now remember, you can set up all your automations for this under the automations tab here. So people that have actually registered in there will get your emails and you can send them out before the class and all these things. I've done lots of videos on setting up automations in here. And if you've taken the live workshops in tutorials.newzenler.com, you'll see live workshops. Just check out funnels and forms and you'll see all of that stuff, or go into the NZ Masterclass bundle and then go to the complete guide for Zenler and just look up live to automations that I've got in there as well. So that tells you about setting all those up. So you can set reminders out when they register, all these things. You can tag them if you want to. You can also tag them in courses as well. So when they actually buy the course, you could tag them, and then you could untag them when they actually come into here, when the automations fly out. So it's up to you how you want to use it. There's 100 million different ways to do this, guys. So I'm not going to cover all of those. So you just need to have a look at how that is set up with automations. I'm assuming you know how automations work in here. Okay, so let's go and test this out. Now remember, like I said to you before, I haven't set up the pages, so I haven't gone in and styled the pages all up. You're going to see that you've got a register, thank you page, and then you've got the waiting page here, which is a waiting room ready to go into the class, yeah? And that'll give a countdown. So if I just flick this page up, it's just a countdown. If you try and enter before, it's not going to let you. That button will only be active when these hit 0. Okay, so that's how they can get in there. So they can register from there. Now, people have asked about the replay page and they don't want to have a replay. If that's the case, you can go into and edit the replay page, basically delete all the copy out and put no replays, just in case someone accidentally finds it. That's a good way to do that, to change that. Okay, so just so you know, so you guys that don't want to actually hold a live copy or replay on here, you can just go in here, delete this block out, and put something like no replays for this live. Okay, and then you can delete any buttons that are in here as well if you want to, and that basically sets it up so the replay page has got nothing on it. All right, again, that's SEO'd as well. So that's how we can do it in there. So now it's just a time for us to actually check this out. So obviously, like I say to you guys, you should test everything's working as you go through all this stuff. So let me just save this page up and just test that everything's kind of linking. So now we've actually set up our page here. What we can do is we can grab this URL, okay, that we set up. We can jump back into the courses. We can jump back down to the live session that we set up. We can go to pages and we can go into that course access page. Remember, this is after they bought it, and we can click edit in here and we can just add a button saying to go to that live. So now, and that will be the linking between the two. So that's all set up in there. So I'm just going to wait for that to come in. Now, like I said, we are adding new features to this where we're going to actually be able to put in live reoccurring sessions inside the course itself, which is going to be a great help. But for now, this is going to help you. So I'm going to go to buttons here, and we're going to go to here, and I'm just going to change this a little bit. I'll just change the design, make it a little bit fancier in here, and change it from a full width to a standard normal button. And then up the top here, just spending a few seconds, we're going to go to link, and in the link there I'm going to paste the link to the live class, which is the register page there. Okay, if you want to, you can open in a new tab if you want to. You can also change this. Register using the same email you used here. That's it. That's all you need to do. So now I've tied a link in on the course access page straight to the webinar page. So I'm just going to close these windows down so it makes it all a bit clearer. And there we got the page there. So let me just clear that one. Okay, so once they've bought the course, they'll come through to this page, or they've bought the live workshops. They click this and they'll go straight through to this. So this is where they'll use their same email address to go into it. Now the thing is, you click it and it says you can't book this live yet. Please contact the site admin. But we're not enrolled, so it's kind of logging you through the process, as you will see, because I'm now going to set myself up as a student on here. So I'm going to go to site now and we're going to test. I'm just going to enroll myself straight into that course. Okay, so obviously if you enroll yourself into this course, let me just jump around again, you can set up automations under here as well. Okay, so you can set up automations to run out, to maybe give them information. Again, you could put in there when they register or on enroll. You can also send them a link to the live class register page. You can also do it in automations as well, so it fires out to them and they get it that way. You could also tag them in here as well, or you don't need to use the automations. It's entirely up to you. I would say automate the first one on enroll and give them information that goes to register, because once they go on there and register, as soon as they put their email address in there that's the same as they've bought the course from, then the automated emails from the live class will then fire out to them. Okay, so as I said, test it all. And I haven't set up my automations, but it really doesn't matter for this test. So I'm going to go to site. You need to just check the processes are running through. I'm going to go to all. I've already got me as a user in there, so I'm just going to add myself to the course. So I'm going to go to here, courses, and then I'm going to go to enroll in plan, and I'm going to choose the 1 hour live session, 20th of April. I'm going to do the live cost. I'm not going to bother sending myself enrollment details, and I'm going to click enroll. You should, by the way, keep that checked. So now I'm enrolled in this, so I'm going to log in to the site under incognito mode. So I'm going to go to incognito. I'm going to go to the surf dudes. Okay, I'm just logging in, and I'm going to go to my workshop session. If I come down here, I haven't set this up, so I need to, there we go. So I've got under my courses, I've got this in here. Notice that I've called it workshop, and if I click this, I'm going to go into that page. There we go, and I can click just register using the same email I used here. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click the register button, and straight away I'm in. So notice how it didn't come up with ask for admin. It's because I've bought the course, and the course has given, and because the live webinar, when I've jumped to it, it's any people that are in that course. I didn't get that error message come up asking about admin. So this is now going to give me, if I click this, it's going to give me the live session, and notice there's no button underneath because I'm already registered. So basically when it's hit 0, I'll be able to enter the site straight away. I'll click the button to join the webinar, and that is it. So as I mentioned before, guys, you can register, you can, if you wanted to hold various sessions, you could just go and clone this, change those details, and reset up a new class here. So classes, again, if I wanted to keep it the same, I could clone this and then I could tie it up. Or if I've got students in the course and I want to reuse that course and just change the name and just, because people are buying the live session, so as soon as it's finished, you don't care that they're in the course. So all you can do then is you can just go to here and go down to people, or you can go to the course in here, and there's two ways of doing it. You can go into here, go to students. You're going to see that I'm registered in here. It's going to come up, and then I can just go and then unenroll them from the course by hitting the edit, go into course. I'm sorry, it is a manual process, but you can unenroll them there. and then they will be out of the course, and you could reuse that course and just change the date in there and the link to the live class. So that is how it works. It's a little bit round the houses at the moment. Like we said, we are going to do reoccurring lives. This is one of our main things that we're trying to get all sorted out for you guys, because you want to do reoccurring lives, you want to put lives into courses, into communities, these kind of things. So we're working on all that, but now, for now, this is a workaround to be able to do it. And you saw there, by using live classes, we're not talking about live webinars now, we're talking about live classes. By using the live classes, it's only going to let you actually attend if you use the same email address that you bought the course with. Okay, this is really important, and that is because inside of that live class you specified that only people that are on that live session, enrolled in the course live session, can attend. So by all they've got to do is log into their account, and then they can go to that link as you just saw, and then they can go straight through, and then they're straight on that waiting time with it clicking down. As soon as it clicked to 0, it will go join the live, and then you can go straight in there. They can go straight in there and join you on a live, and that is it. So it's not hard. Once you've done this initial work, like I said, you need to, on the live classes, you're going to need to go in here and set up these automations, which is easy enough to do. Just come into here and you say 0 days. So this is 0 days from registration. So when they've gone in there and registered, you can then go in and send them an email. Or you can do it from courses. So when they actually enroll in this course, you can go into automations here, and you can go when they enroll, and then you can send them a link to that register, and you could then carry on sending automations out even in here and just bypass any automations that you've got in the live class if you want. So there's two ways of doing it, but do remember that if you are reusing the course, you always have to set a new session up. Okay, that's one thing you've definitely got to do. But if you're reusing the same course, you need to remember to go in and edit those pages with the new dates, and you need to unenroll the students. So it might be a quicker option for you to come down here, clone the course as a new course, reset it up, and work from that. It's really up to you. So hopefully I've made that clear. It can get quite complicated because we're tying courses up with lives, but the whole goal here was to set up so you can take a payment on a live class. And you can't do that directly from lives at this moment. So the only way around it is to set a course up like this, and actually run them through the checkout process, and then run them straight into the live class that you've set up. That's the sort of crux of the what we're trying to actually do here. Okay, now remember guys, if you also don't want this live anymore, you want it off the site, you can come into the edit here and you can just unpublish the course. If you don't want people buying it again, you could come into the pricing, you could delete the pricing out. So it's really up to you. And you can also remember inside here, this one-off pricing, you can add extra things in here like availability. So you could say this is available between certain dates, so start date and close date. So if you want an open enrollment for a certain time period, you have that ability by setting the availability of that pricing plan. Now if it's before the pricing plan, they won't be able to buy the course. If it's after the pricing plan date you've put in there, they cannot buy the course either. So it's between these dates. And you can also say in here, course will be available from date of enrollment till the day given here for unlimited access set to 0. So you can set the day, how many days they've got access to that as well, which could be handy. So by using all these things together, you could really start to work out how this is going to work from you. And when you've done one or two of them, it will become really quick for you to do, because as you know, you can clone courses, you can clone the lives, so you can clone it, edit those details, and then straight away they're through. So it's really up to you how you work. Now I did mention about in courses you could put tiers, so you could set up tiers for 1, 2, 3, so you can set up live workshops and give access to people based on tiers. So that's worth looking at as well. Again, that's covered in the complete guide to Zenler. I'm part of the NZ Masterclass bundle. Just look in there or search under tiers and that'll all be clear to you as well. So hopefully guys, that's cleared it all up. Mina, and I know John was asking about this as well. So I know I go quite quick over this stuff, so it's well worth you re-watching or pausing as I'm sort of working through things. Do remember that I've gone over this really quickly and that you should style your pages and make them really impactful, and also maybe use video in there telling people exactly what they're going to get on their live session. And if it's a live session that you're repeating and running time after time, then you can reuse that video in other course sales pages as well. So it's up to you how you want to use those videos and things. It's really your choice on that. But that kind of covers how to take a payment through a live class on Zenler. And as I mentioned before, we're using live classes because they've taken payment, and you're only getting those people that are in the class can sign up for that live. If you use the webinar feature and people do get hold of a link, they might be able to join and register that way. So that is why we are using live classes and not live webinars. Okay guys, but remember this principle applies. So even if you had a link elsewhere, or you set up something like a private Facebook group, you could actually run a live stream into that group with just those people in the private group, and you can make them pay here, and then you could give them a link to that private group to join. You would then check their details and allow them into the group, and you could then stream directly into the group. That's another way to do it as well, but that could be a bit confusing. It depends how you want to work with it. If you want to do a weekly one, because you might decide to do this on a subscription. If it was on a subscription, you might want to run live events weekly to the people that subscribe that you've let in on the Facebook group. So that's another way of thinking about it. It's really up to you. Or use that tiered method I spoke about, or you could set the lives up in a bundle. So you could have lots of live events and you could keep adding them to the bundle if people are signing up on the subscription on the bundle. So loads of things to think about. I know it can be a little bit kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going on. There's so much things, but actually it's quite simple. Just plan it out exactly what you want to achieve and then just work that. As usual guys, got any problems on these sort of things, just make sure that you jump on to any of the live workshops or our office hours on Mondays or Wednesdays streams to YouTube. All right guys, I'll post on the Facebook group and just sort of do #askzenler. All right guys, see you around.